I'm here with 2017 WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Kurt, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great seeing you back in the WWE ring and becoming a regular character again. How is it being back in the fold with WWE?
Things are different today. I mean, I think that the WWE runs a completely different program. I like the fact that they are more of a PG show. I think it helps from being a publicly traded company to sell merchandise to children to being family oriented. And, I love the fact that they've really got their stuff together with the wellness policy, the drug policies. It's a lot better atmosphere for the athletes. And the WWE has been catering to the athletes the past 10 years better than they ever did.
Yeah. And you've had an interesting career because you're remembered for, having some amazing matches, but also doing a lot of comedy in the past. Then when you lost that hair versus hair match with Edge, it seemed like you kind of became a serious character, which has kind of stayed through your career in TNA until now. Do you see yourself doing more comedy now that you're Raw general manager, or do you see yourself kind of being a little more serious?
I think you're going to see both sides. I really think it's ultimately up to Vince McMahon and Triple H and the creative team. It's really how far they want to go with it. I do know that they do enjoy both sides, and that's what they want from me. And that's what I'm going to give. I have a great opportunity to be the GM of Raw, and, I wasn't expecting this. This came very recently. And, I think it had a lot to do with Mick Foley having to have hip surgery. So taking this opportunity just gets me one step, further in the WWE to where I wanted to be. And I like the position for now.
Yeah. And did you find out about it before the Hall of Fame, or was it kind of around that time?
It was right around that time when I met with Triple H and he gave me the news. He wanted me to start on Monday, and I believe it was Friday night right before I gave my speech. Oh, wow. And I wasn't surprised. There were a lot of rumors going around, and Triple H reassured me they were just rumors. There was never any talk of me becoming general manager until recently. And I think, I know a lot of, I don't like to call them dirt sheets, but a lot of sites, that were saying that I was going to be the Raw GM, but they were wrong because I would have known that whole time, and nobody contacted me.
Gotcha. It's been an amazing story seeing the rough times that you've had and coming back to where you are now. Diamond Dallas Page was in the Hall of Fame. He created the DDP Yoga app, which has helped many, many people. And now you've created your own app, the Angle Strong Addiction Recovery mobile app from anglestrong.com. When did you first get the idea for it?
I've had the idea for a couple of years. When I got out of rehab, and I will tell you this, there is, when you're in rehab, it's easy to stay clean. No matter what anyone tells you, you go through detox. Once you get through detox, you're on a nice regimented diet. You're on a fitness program. You're going to class. You're learning about your disease. You're going to sleep. You're getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. If you want to go to bed early, if you want to go a little later, but you're going to get your 8 hours. It is the healthiest, point in my life I've ever been, and because there's structure. But once you're done, there's no structure. You go out in the real world, and now you're in chaos again. And you're asking these people, recovering addicts, to stay clean after they just had, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of peace and structure. Now you're telling them to go into an unstructured world and stay clean. That's why 95% of them, even more, 98% of them relapse. It's just, it's a fact of life. There's no aftercare. You have AA meetings and NA meetings, and if you want to pay for a counselor or a psychiatrist, which could be pretty costly. But if you're a father of 5 and you're married and you have a job and you're working quite a bit and you're very active, it's really hard to get to AA meetings every single day. I do highly condone AA meetings, but at the same time, I don't believe it's enough structure for people to stay clean. So I thought about making an app and having a program on a website that people can follow, an initiative. And I looked for an app for a couple of years, and I wanted to start creating my own. And I ran into a gentleman called Dr. Jonas, Harold Jonas from Tampa. I believe he's from Tampa Bay, Florida. And he already had the app. It was HIPAA approved. It was an award-winning app. It did everything that I wanted the app to do, and we decided to team up together. So we created the Angle Strong app, and we brought it to the public in January.
Just wanted to ask you one last question. With your highs and lows, coming back, meeting with Vince McMahon again, you met with him for the first time after 11 years before the Hall of Fame. Obviously, you've seen him several times since then. Has there been a thawing out process at all over the 11 years, or is it kind of just back to where you guys were now?
With Vince, you have to remember, he's always thinking. He's always got something on his mind. So you don't know which Vince you're going to run into. One day he's going to hug you and, talk to you for 20 minutes. And the next day he doesn't have time to do it. Vince is a very lovable man, and he, and when you're good to him, he's good to you. He's always been that way. And he was my father figure for a long time. But when I stopped listening to him is when, the heat came between us. But we didn't talk for 11 years, but once I saw him, the first thing he wanted to do is he wanted to hug me and just hold me close. And it was really cool. I just thought that, wow, we parted. It wasn't ugly, but it was, we both didn't get what we wanted. That's basically, I didn't want to leave and Vince didn't want me to leave. The issue was, I didn't want to stay under circumstances, and he didn't want me to stay under my circumstances. I didn't want to get clean, and I also didn't want to work full time. So there was a battle there, and we just couldn't agree. And Vince lost his best wrestler, but I also lost the company that made me who I am, and and gave me the opportunity to be able to perform the way I did. Vince is the one that came up with the Kurt Angle character, and he had a great writer named Brian Kawartz that worked very hard at, molding that character. So I give Vince a lot of credit for the success I've had in pro wrestling.
Well, I think it's a great idea. I hope people check it out. If you are in recovery, the Angle Strong Addiction Recovery mobile app from anglestrong.com. It's on the App Store and Google Play. Kurt, I know you're a busy man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, my friend. Take care.